there. In this recording, I want to explore the personal journey where you discover yourself, fix past traumas, and be in sync with life itself, with the universe, while also not drifting away from who you truly are. It's funny, when you go through life, you find yourself watering down. You become less you and more your environment. Maybe that's not the same thing for everyone, and it could be different and specific to each person. But I believe that the more you interact with the world, the more you deal with people, the more you become one of them and less yourself. Maybe it's social pressure. Maybe it's the way they communicate, and therefore you have to adapt to their methodology so that you can fit in. But you know what I think is a bigger factor? It's your fear of rejection and fear of judgment. Maybe you've been judged before, ridiculed for being yourself, and therefore you've become avoidant. You've become unnoticingly, you didn't notice this, you've become someone who hides and doesn't show themselves. Maybe it's a social thing and it's different depending where you are in the world. But I think that when you're judged, or perhaps you've been judged in the past, and it pushed you to want to not show that part of you. It pushed you to put on a mask, a persona, because the true self, who you are, has been judged before. So it became a reflex. I'm not sure if that's the case, but it does seem to be the case. And you know what's the worst part about it? It could be that you've moved on in life and you've become better and you are in a better-ish environment, yet you're still carrying the old wounds with you. You're still again, it's a reflex. You're still unable to be genuine and be yourself and express yourself, express your creativity. Maybe this is the definition of how it is to give up to being old and bitter and, Anyway, I don't think it's a hopeless thing. It isn't something that is unfixable or irreversible. I truly believe that to acknowledge having these problems, to be aware of the influence of past traumas and to address them, I believe it allows you room to reintegrate your true self. And I'm not sure if it will make you let go of the persona, or it's gonna make you have some sort of individuation with the self and the persona where you integrate them both and you become yourself. It's like the persona and the self become one, and instead of being two separate sides of you. Now, this process, I believe, carries with it a risk because it is going to expose you. You're going to feel exposed and you're going to be vulnerable. And also you risk the chance of being judged and ridiculed again. But I think that despite the risk, you're bigger, better, and stronger, and wiser, and smarter, well, I keep thinking of these, than who you were in the past. And I think that regardless, the risk is worth becoming who you are. It is worth it to take the risk, to develop a skin that realizes, you know what? I can handle it. I can take it. It does not faze me the way it fazed me before. And here's the thing, and I could be wrong here. I believe those who overthink and tend to care what others think, they really are qualified. Yet the feeling of confidence in them has been shaken, and it's like a polar opposition. It's a polar opposition where when you're confident and you're full of yourself, you really don't know much. While when you know plenty and you've had experience and knowledge and you've overthought and assessed everything, you don't feel so confident because you are aware you could be wrong. Even though, and this is funny, even though the more you know, the more confident you should be, and the less you know, or rather, the more confident you know without checking your facts, the more wrong, the higher the chance of you being wrong. And yeah, I believe the concept and the capacity to reintegrate the self into your life and who you are, I believe it's a beautiful journey and it is a risk worth taking.